So, hello everyone. I'm in Brussels at the Future Classroom Lab, and I'm very happy to be one of the hosts of this today's TeachMeet. And my co-host will be Ariana. Where are you, Ariana?
Hello everyone. Right now I'm in Graz, in Austria, at the European Center for Modern Languages, where I just attended a workshop on learning environment where foreign languages flourish.
Okay, good. Let's kick off this TeachMeet. But first of all, there's one important element on this introduction slide, which is the hashtag. So please feel free to send out tweets so that more people can enjoy tonight's session. If you have, let's say, a nice resource you hear of, or you just can make a screenshot, send it out and use the ITELab _EU hashtag. So here we go. We are, as we said already, the moderators of today's meeting. And yeah, my name is on top with my Twitter handle. You know, probably that I'm involved in the ITELab course. I more or less assembled the course, and you may have seen my face already at the introduction movie. So I'm very happy that we can do this today. I have a long background as a teacher, and now I work for a few years at European School to work with teachers both on-site and online, and ITELab is one of the examples. And Ariana, a brief introduction from your side?
Yes, I'm a teacher. I teach languages at the high school in Zagreb, Croatia. And I have done a lot of teacher training courses, designed and moderated, and together with Bart we have moderated a lot of TeachMeets, which we really love. And I'm very pleased today that with us here in this webinar is our very good friend and colleague from Italy, Patrizia Roma, and award-winning teacher of English. And Patrizia has a very rich experience in networking and collaborating with teachers from all over the world and bringing the world to her classroom, to her students. Welcome, Patrizia.
Okay, well, we'll give the floor to Patricia later on, because I think we have now, first of all, a short explanation about TeachMeet, Ariana. What is that, in fact, TeachMeet? Can you explain?
Yes, so let's go back to 2006, in Edinburgh, in Scotland, where some teachers gathered and shared their teacher stories. They talked about teaching, about their projects, about their students. And so at that time in this pub, this expression TeachMeet was coined. And what it really means, it means that it is an informal but organized gathering of teachers. And in this meeting, what teachers do is they share their best practice, their experiences, ideas, projects, introduce each other to projects, and invite each other to participate in different projects. And everybody has a chance to speak. All the presentations are very short. So teachers have either 3, 5, or 7 minutes in most cases to present their projects. You know how we teachers really like to talk, so in this way we are kind of, we have a time limit, so we have to share the best from our project in a very short time. For this TeachMeet, we decided to give each speaker 5 minutes, and I'm sure it will be enough to share the most important characteristics of their project. So after the 5 minutes, you usually hear a bell, and Bart will use his phone today to let the speaker know that the time is up and that they need to give the floor to the next speaker. So in a very short time, we hear a lot of different, very good things about projects in different countries. And also another characteristic typical for a TeachMeet is a back channel. So it usually goes on Twitter or Facebook or some other social media, and so that all the people who cannot be in this room now, they can follow it on social media channels, or they can also read all the tweets later on. So we invite you to share everything that you hear today from our speakers on Twitter and other social media outlets by using this hashtag ITELab_EU.
Okay, so here you see the lineup of today's speakers. So this will be the order of presentation. So we have a nice spread of countries. So we have Nano from Georgia. Then we have Mirko from Italy. We have Portugal with Juliana, Fulgencio from Spain, and then to finish, Alessia. In between, we have our guest speaker, and she will have our presentation after 2 sessions from the participants, if that's okay with you. So I think Nano can put herself in the cockpit to to start the presentation. And Nano, so you can activate your webcam and of course your microphone, and then maybe Ariane can have a first introduction chat, a short chat with her.
Yes, welcome Nano. It's great to see you here today. So you are from Georgia, but where are you right now?
Right now I'm in Lapland, Finland.
Oh, nice. And what's the weather like?
It's like -20. But it's
-20. Oh, yeah, that's really cold. But we are very happy that you are here with us. Is this your first TeachMeet?
Yes, that's the first one for me.
Oh, that's great. We are really happy that you are here with us. So yes, everything will be perfect. Are you ready for your 5 minutes?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, now the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nano, and as I have mentioned, I am from Georgia. And today I would love to share with you my experience, and I will talk about my reflections on this particular course. I hope my sound is okay and it's hearable. So first of all, I would love to thank ITELab you for this opportunity to give me the opportunity and stage to speak up today and share my reflections, and also thank you for an amazing experience and for this online course. Shortly about my studies, I have bachelor's degree in psychology and education science, and I'm currently a master's degree student of education management, and I study in Vytautas Magnus University, which is located in Lithuania. And why I decided to major in education, the answer is simple, because education is first priority in my life. And why I think so is this is one of the screenshots from the assignments that we have to do during this course, and I connected this key to the fact that education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. And to me, freedom means to have accessibility to quality life and sustainable life and productive, successful experiences. But whenever I've been working on different schools or in different projects, educational projects, there is one obstacle that we face in 21st century education, that many children around the world are still left out of the schools. So not everyone has the accessibility to quality education. This is why currently I support a lot to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and especially I support and I'm kind of ambassador of goal number 4, which is about quality education. And this means more lifelong learning and more inclusive education and promoting tolerance between societies. So how is it connecting teaching and why I love teaching is because I use teaching as a tool to understand the real needs of the 21st century learners. This is something very influential because you know that you can influence future generation and you can influence them positively. You become like a role model for them because they put so much trust in you that this is the biggest responsibility that you can ever have. For me, teaching is connected with collaboration. It's a very dynamic and challenging process because you have to keep up with innovation and stay always a student, not like a master. So as I have mentioned, right now I am in Finland because I do a student traineeship here and I work as a teacher assistant and I meet so many people, students, educators from different backgrounds, and this is so interesting to work with them and explore Finnish education system because it's totally different from the ones which I have seen before and absolutely mind-blowing, I could say. So while I was here, I got this opportunity to attend ITELab seminar, the network teacher, and I could describe this course in 3 words. For me, it was very informative, creative, and innovative. Why informative? Because I got so many resources, tools, ideas from different teachers from all over the world. And I even created this learning diary where I could gather all these resources, and I started to use these new tools right now here in Finland, and they seem so productive to me. And thank you so much. And also I started tweeting because I didn't use Twitter. It was very creative for me because assignments were so enjoyable. They were fostering new ideas. For example, Test Teach, where I could create new activities for children. And I even created this certificate of awesome, which I'm really going to use for my amazing students. And Padlet for reflections. And reflections were the most important part to me, to understand what are my current needs. And for me, it was very innovative because it was learning without physical boundaries, open and accessible. And what's most important, I created a new personal learning network, which is very, very important to me right now as I'm just beginning to become a teacher or a future educator or a manager of education. So to sum up, I would love to thank ITELab for this opportunity, for encouraging me to continue teaching and stay a lifelong learner. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please feel free. I think my time is up.
That was really, really wonderful, Mano. You did an amazing job, and I think you have inspired us all. We will see whether there are some questions in the chat, but for the time being, I would prefer to continue with a few more presentations, and then we can see whether we can have some questions at the end or maybe at a later stage. So thank you once again, and good luck there in Lapland, and I hope that, and I'm quite convinced that you will have a very nice future as a teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to other presenters.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Ariana?
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. And now I would invite Mirko from Italy to join us here on the stage. Mirko, please turn on your camera and microphone, and let's hear how you connect technology and education.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
The audio is good?
Yes, everything is very good. We can hear you. We can see you very well. And so how are you?
Fine, thanks, I'm fine.
Is it your first TeachMeet?
Yes, I say this is my first teach meeting, and I'm really happy to for being here to share my experience with you.
Thank you. We are also very happy that you joined us today, and the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. A little introduce myself. I'm Mirko Susta. I'm 26 years old. I'm a student teacher in University of Perugia. and I will become a teacher next year, and I'm the 4th year of my studying. And now I think with my presentation that I called technology and education. This is a little reflection on the effects of technology. This presentation comes from my experience with my study, but with the experience, of course, by joining this course on ITELab. So I start with this. We live in 21st century. That's called the century of digital revolution, because we have technology in every aspect of our lives. We have technology in school, house, work, sport, every aspect of life. I think technology is have a really important role in our lives, and so we have to think about formal and non-formal education as a teacher or future teacher. So another aspect of this century is the children that are born now are called digital natives. I try to be to use less word, but I think one word is important of these terms, digital natives. From our child, we can see that from 0 to 3 years, our child use technology. We see that them use iPad. They use in some ways phones of parents. So we, as a teacher, we can't ignore this fact. Society think this because for use this term digital natives, that's an indication of how technology is really present in our life since our childhood. And I think we have to think as technology is an instrument. Technology is the result of some process, and I think in education we have to think of technology, but we can't think of technology without a didactic thinking, because technology is a way to teach, is a tool, an instrument, but we can't think that technology replaces the role of a teacher. So how we can see in this picture, I write technology, that is the consequence of didactic thinking. Technology has to use in our teaching, so we can improve our skill, our mathematics skill, our logical skill, our competence. And so we see pedagogy, because I think it's really important to reflect on this process. We have to reflect on the role that technology have in the education. So I use the words of John Dewey. We can't forget experience, because yes, okay, I'll try to speak more. We do not learn from experience, we learn from reflection on experience, and so on. Technology has redesigned the time and the space concept. Means of communication. With internet, we have a communication revolution, and so on. I use the words of Susan Greenfield, that has written a book that calls Mind Change. She's described how technology, the impact of technology in our brain and in our mind. And so on, we can see the teacher's role I just talked before. So I can follow this. And I read this book last year in the university. Howard Gardner calls a generation up, that this thing of active user or passive user. I think we have to be active user for improve our skills by using technology. And I end this presentation using the words of Nelson Mandela, that told education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And that's all. Thank you for attention.
That's perfect, Mirko. Great job. So I think you are very passionate about teaching as well. So your future students will have a great teacher, I'm quite sure.
Thank you.
I absolutely agree. It was wonderful. Thank you, Mirko.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on, Mariana.
Yes. So now it's a huge, huge pleasure to invite Patrizia Roma, an award-winning teacher of English, to the stage here to join us here. I'm so happy you are here with us today, Patrizia, and a very, very warm welcome to the TeachMeet.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so Patrizia, is this your first TeachMeet?
Not exactly. No.
Yes. Yes. So you are used to talking in webinars, to sharing your good practice and ideas with other teachers.
Yes, definitely yes.
Yes, okay. So I'm really looking forward to your presentation and how you connect, and let's hear about your accomplishments in the world of education. The floor is yours, Patrizia.
Thank you. I start my timer. Okay, 5 minutes. So thank you so much. Just a little bit of information about me. First of all, I would like to say that it has been really a pleasure to listen to these next generation teachers. They are so skilled. So, I mean, they are at a level that it took me years to conquer. Anyway, just a little bit of story about me. I was born in Messina in 1960. I grew up in Palermo, so I'm from Sicily, but I live in Perugia, and it's a pleasure to listen to teachers from Perugia as well. I graduated in Perugia in foreign languages and literatures, and in 1986 I started my job as a state teacher after entering a national competition. And I started teaching at secondary school, and in particular now I have been teaching at Istituto Tecnico Tecnologico Alessandro Volta in Perugia since 1999. And this is now called a school 2.0, which means it's a school in which technology is really well integrated in teaching and learning. And it's also a school that gave me the opportunity to experiment, to try new methodologies, and to see how technology could be used to improve my teaching approach. And I have also some special responsibilities in this school because I am a member of the staff of direction, and also I am the coordinator of a document which you can see on the slide, which is called in Italian Piano dell'offerta formativa, which means the teaching plan of the school for the whole year. And also as I teach English, I've always been interested in connecting and communicating with other teachers, and the opportunity to work in European projects helped me a lot. But I want to say that the real turning point in my professional career has been joining the twinning community, because in the twinning community you can do so many things. You can share your ideas, you can experiment innovation. You find a global learning environment. You can also overcome stereotypes and you can grow professionally. In particular, the impact that joining eTwinning had on me was that when I joined in, first of all, I did it for curiosity. What I asked myself was, is there a better way to do the things that I usually do? Or, in other words, is there a better way to teach? And there in eTwinning, I found a mine of resources and inspiration. So I started to rethink my approach and to reorganize and refocus my efforts. But the great thing was that I didn't do this in isolation. I started building relationships because now I was part of an educational community. So I could share ideas and practices with colleagues all over Europe. And I learned to collaborate. I learned to design projects, to explore new pedagogical approaches like project-based learning, for example. And I also got more familiar with technology. Technology is seen, as Mirko said, as a powerful tool to break down the classroom walls, to expand the classroom, and to facilitate connections and the creation of new content. By doing so, I learned to collaborate also with my class colleagues. And I started integrating this approach with other school subjects. And for example, I started applying what is now called the CLIL methodology. And I did projects in which students developed not only their linguistic skills, but at the same time they developed other skills, concentrating on other subjects. And so project after project, I not only developed my personal skills, the communicative or social or collaborative digital skills, I also learned how to plan, how to design learning activities with the guidance of the eTwinning quality criteria. And so I got the quality labels, and both national and European, and this meant official recognition for my work, which is an aspect that I think is much needed in our career, because I mean, in the teaching profession, there is no career progression unless you. Oh, I finished my minute. Oh my goodness! So I have to go faster. And just to say something more is that I learned to develop the growth mindset. So the belief that abilities, the intelligence, the talents are not fixed characteristics, but can be developed through commitment, through effort and resilience. And this is crucial to one's openness to learning. So we have to adopt it for ourselves first, in order to instill it to our students. So if we embrace a growth mindset, our students will do the same, because we cannot tell the others they should be innovative while we continue to do always the same things. And eTwinning really encouraged me, inspired me to try something new, to take risks, feeling that I had the freedom to fail, but also that I could have success if I showed resilience and determination. But the great thing is that this is not in isolation. I started connecting with other educators because I know that we are much better together than we can be alone. And I did some projects that should show you some of the most successful ones. The hole puncher, where my students worked on a device which they built in collaboration with other students in other schools. The green chemistry project, which was based on environmental protection. The 21st century citizens, which was based on the development of digital citizenship. One word, one race, which was meant to develop sense of tolerance and respect for other cultures, and Mirror Mirror, which was the project that was awarded the first European prize in 2016. And the impact on the students is great because they develop their skills, their communication skills, but they communicate for real purposes. They learn from their peers, they discover new cultures, they find out that learning can be also fun, and this is what they like best. And of course, I started networking. I developed lots of different networks because I know that having continuous stimulus is very important for you. to grow professionally and to do something more, always more interesting for your students. I finished. Thank you for listening.
Wonderful, Patricia. Thank you so much, and I think you really are a role model for all beginning teachers.
Yes, I agree. That was wonderful. And I'm very happy that you joined this training and we met in this network for teachers. Thank you so much, Patricia. And I'm sure there will be some questions at the end. So let's go on with the other three presentations, and then we'll have time to hear some answers if our students have questions. Thank you so much.
So I think we go to Juliana now. She asked already in the chat that it would be her turn, and the answer is yes. So you can switch on your webcam, and then we can see your face, and then you can click the arrows to move on through the slides.
Yes.
So let's see whether that works. Also put on your microphone, Juliana. Are you there? Hello.
So while we are waiting for Juliana to join us here on the stage, what I like most about TeachMeet is traveling, right? So right now we have been to Georgia and Finland, and then we went to Italy, and now we are going to Portugal.
Yes, Juliana, I upgraded you as a presenter just now, so now you will be able to switch on your webcam as well as your microphone, which is even more important. So on top you see those green icons, so if you activate the microphone, and then you can start presenting. Juliana, I have to do it again, so it seems. You are a presenter now?
Yes, but there is no microphone here, so she has to turn it on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Juliana, I hope you find it, and then we can get started. If not, we should maybe skip it for the moment, but then we might come back, of course, when Juliana has found the way how to connect. So, Juliana, normally you should have on top green icons with a microphone, and you should activate it so that you can speak. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Juliana,
I think
we heard something in the...
Yes, it's working now.
Yeah.
Okay, and firstly,
and also click start sharing your camera.
Yeah, my camera. Yes.
Start sharing. Click start sharing, and then we will see you here on the stage. Yes, excellent. Yes, now almost. Yes. We are almost there. Great, great. Good to see you here again. Hello?
Sharing, okay.
It's working. It's working.
Okay, yes. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. The floor is yours.
My presentation. Yeah. So firstly, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to show the education context in our school. Okay, my work group agreed to talk about our experience in the integrated learning between several traditional educational areas, and math, science, and history, and technology. Our university or school,
we work through interdisciplinarity in some areas. And the aim of the new project is to train future educators in teaching practice, associate a new learning environment. It's a new practice in our university. So the students are very happy because it's new spaces and new practice for our future job. So Creative Lab is a new area about science and math. This project started as very integrating the teaching science and math to prospective elementary school teachers. Presently, it extends to other subjects and with the use of technology. Some activities are implemented with two teachers, one of each subject, science and mathematics at the same time. This collaboration has the advantage of diverse skills in students, such as scientific, technical and technological knowledge, critical and creative thinking. And the other project in our school is at active education space. Our object is curricular integration of digital technology. In this space, there are learning experience for students to explore and manipulative digital tools, activities of initiation to programming and robotics. All students contact to robot practice and program and STEM methodologies. Promotion of digital literacy. All students are prepared to use the old technologies and tools in our practice in class. So, in conclusion, our conclusion, because this presentation was made in group. And my group in my group are 3 students, and so I just speak for all, but we are 3 members in the group. And our conclusion is new approach and learning experience are daily emerging to teach the next generation concerning didactics, technology, or curriculum. For us, this reality is very important because turns our thoughts into action and turns our action in effect. In our university, the practice is have objective is prove our practice in class. If we have our pupils, we are prepared to job with they. And finally, we give the phrase, is the mind that opens to a new idea never returns to its original site, by Albert Einstein. Thank you for your attention. I'm sorry.
It was great. It was really great, Juliana. Don't worry about it at all. It was lovely.
Sorry.
And what
I'm sorry.
no. You're a hero.
I, I
You're a
think
heroine.
that
What I will never forget, and I think it is the most
thank
important
you
message that you
for
gave out, that you are really collaborating and that you consider teaching as a social profession, that you communicate with colleagues and trying to find the best solution and the best options for your students. So thank you once again. It was really great. You made us proud. Okay, good. And we go to Fulcio or Fulgencio, but he can say what name he prefers. Very, very, very nice. Thank you, Pucho. That was a great idea, and I think it's so easy to bring it to practice. Let's say this week already. Why not? I mean, it's just a simple idea, and it involves all the modern ideas to say about education. let's say, a kind of encouragement to us. But I hope you will also continue learning on your own. We opened a few channels, and we hope you go back to them, and hope you can connect to teachers outside your school. I don't know whether you have checked on the chat line, whether you have seen some questions. I saw some appreciations and congratulations popping up. Did you find any specific question? Then it would be the moment now. Otherwise, yeah, we will finish this TeachMeet. So I hope it was a nice experience for you. And of course, you don't need an online tool to organize it. You can also organize it in your own school and just yeah, do it as it was initially started. Why not go to the pub and take a round in sharing a short idea with a fellow teacher.
Yes.
The final word after you, Ariana. So very nice evening from my side. We will publish the recording.
Yes.
And so you will enjoy the rest of the course if you still have to finish some tasks. And please be around and follow people. Okay, Ariana. Nice.
Yes, that's right. So right now there are no questions here in the chat box. If you have some, please post them. But of course, all our speakers, I'm sure, will be very, very happy to answer your questions. And you can reach them on Twitter. They're all on Twitter. Also in the forum of the MOOC, right? Right now, I'm the only one, or almost the only one, along with Fulcho and posting in the forum, but you are all very welcome to connect with other participants and hear more about what they have been talking about today. It was a great event, I think. Everything was functioning really perfectly. All the presenters were wonderful. You simply couldn't say that for almost all of them it was their first TeachMeet. They were very competent, wonderful project ideas and experiences, and I'm really very happy with this TeachMeet. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, thank you and bye-bye. Can you please stop the recording?